Hi, I'm Aperture Grills, and this is my submission video for Marathon Infinity on Kindergarten, the easiest difficulty. I'm the world record holder for this category, and this is the current fastest time. This game is similar in most respects to Marathon 2. It runs on the same engine, but it's quite a bit shorter of a run for one main reason, which is that this game its plot is very convoluted and the level layout is non-linear. You can actually go through different timelines in an attempt to find one that ends in success. And so this means that we can actually skip about a third of the game. And so unlike the other two marathon games that are about a half hour long, this is less than 20 minutes. So I'll get started and I'll talk through how I do each level. Okay, so this first level, it has a major sort of unintended thing right at the start. I'm hitting a switch right there behind that light panel, which is something probably left in from testing, which opens the door I just went through. Normally, you're supposed to go through a long sequence of swimming in order to make it to another way to open that, but we can just do that, so it saves a lot of time. Another thing that this game does that the previous marathons didn't really is sometimes you fight on the side of some of the aliens. And so in this case, the enforcers, those cloaked guys, are against everyone else. That's a minor time save to shoot that switch rather than having to walk up and hit it. So you can see the rest of the enemies are not concerned with me because I'm on their side. Now here I'm going to go into a secret. When you hit that switch, the elevator lowers, but that one shaft rises up. So I had to use my map to make sure I was on it, and I used that to pick up an assault rifle, and I used that assault rifle on the next level to do a jump. And here I just ride this elevator and go to the end. Okay. So yeah, on this level, right here, I'm going to walk up this half-finished staircase and then grenade jump up there to where I need to go. And then I'm opening this secret door, which leads to a terminal that is going to take me to a level that I'm not supposed to go to. This is what they called a co-op Carnage Break level. It's basically like a multiplayer map, like a deathmatch map, and it has lots of ammo and weapons on it, as you can see. And I use it to pick up a bunch of munitions, which I need for the next couple of levels. Here, this is one of the electric sheep levels. It's supposed to be like a dream sequence or something. Anyway, I take an unintended route off of it by going to that teleporter, and then I'm going to do exactly the same thing on Electric Sheep 2, which looks identical, but it is actually a different level. And then, so I just skipped 7 levels of the game. Now, this level I have to snipe a switch really far away. And on this particular run, I messed it up a couple times because obviously I don't have a crosshair. This game is too old to have a crosshair, so it's a little hard to tell where exactly I'm shooting. And then I have to do a kind of precise jump between these two little platforms there. There is actually a pretty dependable way to do that I've found, but it looks scary. And then I hit that switch in midair, which raises that, and then I'm going to use the rocket launcher to push myself onto a platform that goes to a secret exit to the level, which takes me through this extremely short level. And then onto this. So in this level, so in this game they introduced Bobs, the humans that have vacuum suits, and they have fusion pistols, which is what I'm also wielding, rather than the pistol. So in some sense they're easier to deal with because their weapons do not have hit scan, but in another they're harder because they have more health and their shots do a lot of damage. So this level, even on Kindergarten, the easiest difficulty, you're pretty liable to die on it. The Bobs, like, their AI doesn't really change between difficulties because you know, they expected originally that they would be on your side. So they, you know, just because you're playing on easy difficulty, you don't want your teammates to not be good. And so, you know, when they decided to turn them against you, then they're pretty deadly. So aside from dealing with that, this level is basically another run around and hit switches level. So I would just hit the first two. You can see I'm just dodging the shots of these vac bobs and shooting them with my shotgun shells, which I picked up. And then if I don't deal with those guys, they'll come into the next room after me, so... And I have to hit that switch, which lowers this. And now I'm back at the beginning, but it opens this new area to go, which is how I get to the end. And then I have to walk through this sort of long sequence of hallways that has more vac bobs in it. And as you can see, I just took one hit that took out like almost a whole bar of my health, so it's really easy to die here. Fortunately, that's the end of the level, and the next level has a yellow can right at the beginning, so even if you come in with almost no health, you're okay. This is yet another run around and hit switches level. It has a very minor trick you can do on those doors that don't have sides. You can actually run around and cut in. You know, it saves almost no time at all, but it looks cool. So, just running through the level, hitting switches, avoiding enemies, trying to go fast. And I will pick up another yellow can at the end of this level, so I'm not really concerned about taking damage there. That's the last switch I have to hit, and now I'm going to go to the end. That Bob was unfortunate enough to get in my way. Okay, this level, Hangbrain, is kind of the most boring level of the game. It's supposed to evoke Begging for Mercy Makes Me Angry from the last game. But you kind of just have to hit those switches. You'll see that like design repeated. You have to hit one switch and then it opens the big door far away and you shoot the panel in the distance. So here's the second one. Saves a fraction of a second to go to grenade the first switch rather than walking all the way up to it. And then I'm going to a third room that's just like the first two. Same deal again. Now, if you really are dialed into the timing here, you can actually fire the grenade and then walk away before you ever see the door open. Saves a very small amount of time. And then here, there's more panels that you can see down to. And at the time I got this record, I used grenades to hit these, but now I use the shotgun because it's a little faster because the weapons hit scan. It's a little more reliable. As you can see, I actually missed one of them and then I had to go back and shotgun it. And then once I've done all that, I can go upstairs. There's a couple more panels I have to break. And then we fall down here. That's the last panel, and that's the end. This is Electric Sheep 3. We take a different exit off of it than we took for the first two. I have to shoot that switch in order to open the door, which can be really finicky. Sometimes if you shoot it with a grenade or a charged fusion shot, it looks like you hit it, but it doesn't register, which can be really annoying. And then you have to do this little platforming sequence, which I messed up very slightly. And then I use rockets just to save having to run up the last one. This next level is the sort of the halfway point. It's pretty straightforward. It's another sort of like dream sequence level, and so you know, it has this like big pools of lava with this thin catwalk that goes over it. But because Bungie doesn't hate you too much, if you fall into the lava, it teleports you out, and so we use that to go a little faster than the intended route. Just jumping into the lava at the right spot so that it teleports you closer to where you want to go. So you're going to see me do that a second time here once I go through this door. Just land right there. And then fall back down onto the last bit of catwalk that leads me to the end. And now, much like the halfway point of Marathon 2, here we become captured and lose all of our weapons and ammo and most of our health. So this level, we're going to pick up one weapon on, but right now we're totally naked. We only have the fists. So we get some health. And then run punching those guys will do them in one hit, and so you have to be careful to do that, or lest you waste time standing in front of them and punching them. So there I did well because I punched them all. So here I do a little grenade fly to save a small amount of time. Normally you're supposed to get over to that switch by taking a teleporter. I grab some ammo here because I need it for the next level. Now, the objective of this level is to go to an underground area, which is sort of like the fourth level of Marathon 2, and break 2 switches. Or circuit panels, whatever you want to call them. And they are right here in this room. And then I go back to where I got the assault rifle, and that's the end. Not a whole lot more to say about this level. I'm basically just running through and trying to avoid taking too much damage. Because the next level is another level where the mobs are against you, and it's regular mobs, and they have pistols, and they can really decimate your health in a hurry. So this level has probably the most difficult grenade jump in the whole series. Oh yeah, so I should explain what I did there. Back when I did this run, I was playing on a version of the game that has a minor bug where if you complete 15 levels in a row without dying, or like saving and then restoring your save, then the game just soft locks, or really hard locks actually. Okay, so this is the jump. So it's very difficult to pull that off because there's a current to the liquid, which is sort of pushing you around, and you need to be lined up pretty precisely with that pillar because you need to hit yourself with 2 grenades in order to get enough height. And if that doesn't quite happen, then you don't make it. This level... This is an unintended route that they sort of accidentally added. So I did that one grenade jump up the side, and then I sort of ran around. And then that is a back way into the basement. Normally, you're supposed to do a lot of running around and hitting switches in this level before you can make it to this area, and so this saves several minutes over doing it the intended way. There's actually even a switch which saves a bunch of time because it's a master switch that triggers all of the other ones that you're normally supposed to hit if you do the level the intended way, but this is even faster than messing with that. And then I get 3x health because I'm going to use it later. This is an extremely short level. I just snipe that switch, and then that opens this, and I use it to teleport out. This is another pretty short, straightforward level. You just have to remember which order you have to go into these rooms in. It sort of evokes the Thoth switches in Marathon 2, so you have to hit them in a particular order. And you can spawn in a variety of locations on the map, which is why I got a little turned around right at the beginning. And then after this one, I have to grab an uplink chip that's in the water, right there. Because after I hit the 4th switch, I have to grenade jump up to a place that I can put that chip. Now this is intended. It is sort of a secret way off the level, but it is what you're supposed to do. So yeah, they knew that you could grenade jump. It's pretty obvious, really, given some of the secrets that they put in the levels. And now that I've put that switch in, the chip in, rather, I can go to the end. And then this is the shortest level of the game. Now, this is the second to last level. It's called You Think You're Big Time, You're Gonna Die Big Time. And so I'm slowly being lowered into a big sort of coliseum area, and the way it's supposed to work is there's these 4 big doors that hold super versions of the various enemies, and the doors open one at a time, and you have to kill those enemies, and they drop uplink chips, and you put the uplink chips in slots, and then those open the next door to kill more enemies. However, we can skip all of that because we can just rocket jump up to that platform that I'm currently shooting grenades at, which has the end terminal. However, I do want to waste a little bit of time on this level because I want to pick up one of the uplink chips that these super fighters drop. They're tall and gray and have lots of health, and they walk really fast. I want to pick this up because I can use it on the next level, which they never intended for you to be able to do, but like uplink chips are all actually the same, you know, like keys in Zelda 1, and so you can use them even if you're not supposed to have one. And so this is the last level of the game. Its design is sort of echoed in other like failure levels, so like This game has multiple timelines that you go through, and like at the end of each of them is a failure level, which like is part of this area, and then this level is the real deal. This level is literally as large as the game can manage. It has the maximum number of polygons, and so I just put in the first chip, which I grabbed from the last level, and that allowed me to skip having to go get the one that you're supposed to use. It saves a bit of time. It's enough anyway. And so then I just put in the second one, and now I'm going to the end. And that's the end of the game. Then it scrolls through this extremely long, very philosophical ending screen. So yeah, that is Marathon Infinity on Kindergarten. I also have a run of this on Total Carnage, the hardest difficulty. This game is by far the easiest of the 3 to finish, on Total Carnage, just because you can skip so many of the levels and a lot of them don't require much combat. So this was 17 minutes and 56 seconds. My best time on Total Carnage is 23 minutes and 17 seconds, which is not that much longer. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this run. Yeah, Thanks for watching. I hope you consider it. Goodbye.